Hey everyone, Rick here with the Ditch Pig. What we're working on today is getting this front output out of this transfer case. I haven't really touched this truck since we went wheeling, other than working on the lights. But yeah, today's the day to get started on this. I need to have the truck back in service so I can go wheeling in this fall, and got some wood I got to pick up and things like that. So yeah, just getting her back underway again with four-wheel drive. Yeah, the Gatorade cap and the rag, they're gone. So once I get that taken care of, there is the dent I gotta pull out of there. There's a small one on the other side I gotta get rid of. I'm not gonna do anything fancy with this, just pop it out. As you can see, it's been pretty massaged over the years, so get that taken care of. Yeah, so once it's running and moving again, the other thing I've got to take care of is the battery boxes. I got two batteries in this thing. When I was doing the headlights, I had noticed that there was the bolts in the back of the fender, the inner part of the fender, they had pulled out through in a couple spots. I don't know if you can see it or not right now. Down in here, I got this battery charger here in the way, but down in there, those are starting to pull out on my battery boxes. So I'm gonna have to take care of that, weld some metal in there to reinforce it or whatever, and should be problem solved. So yeah, that's what we're working on today. Just gonna pull that front yoke off the T-case, and then I'll pull the cover off the back, take the front output out, and then I'll slide under here and do the same with that. I don't have to take the yoke off the front of that one because it's snapped off. So I've got to get that off the dry shaft, and there's like a dust collar that goes around that. That's a little bent. I'll try and straighten that out a bit. I did buy a new seal for this housing here, the bearing housing. I got the new seal for that, so I can put that in. It was leaking anyway, so that'll solve that problem. And yeah, I'll have the truck back with four-wheel drive again. And other than the things that I already mentioned, that dry shaft, I'm gonna have to get that retubed. I'll take that into Glenn Doherty at Heritage Machining. He's done it the last time and did the alterations to it when I did the driveline brake and all that stuff. So I'll get him to do it again, and that'll be taken care of, because it does vibrate going down the road. I noticed when we drove back from the campground, she had quite a shimmy to it. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, too easy. So that's what we need right there. Okay. So we've run into another problem, another roadblock. Here it is right here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but this shaft in my spare transfer case is cracked. So yeah, I gotta find another one before I can go any farther with this. Damn, that sucks. Okay, so here's what we're doing. I decided where that other output was broke, but it wasn't, you know, it's cracked. It's not completely broken. If it took a hard hit, yeah, it's gonna snap. Just the same as the other one did. It's gonna be toast. But, having said that, I can put it in. It'll still seal around it because the shaft's not broke off. It'll, I can still put the dry shaft in, put it in four-wheel drive if I have to. If I get into a situation where, oh, I have to have four-wheel drive. Like, this thing in the wintertime won't go anywhere unless it has four-wheel drive. You get in some loose sand, it won't go anywhere. It just digs a hole. So, I put the cracked output in there. I'm just gonna run with that until I can find a 32 spline output from a Ford NP205. They're stronger than the 10 spline, and I can throw that in here. It's a direct swap right into it, and yeah, it'll give me a little extra strength. So when I put this together, I'll show you what the gears are and how they go together. But there is, just down there at the bottom next to the bolt hole, there's like an oiling hole. Okay, so if you have that out, the bearing retainer, if you have that out, you just take like a round punch or a screwdriver like that, and you shove it into that hole, right? And I'll show you what it does. All right, so when this goes back together, obviously your output's here. This gear goes on like this, right? This goes on over top with the smaller gear on this side. So what you got to do is you got to get that shift fork into this groove. It's great if it's laying down. You can do it pretty easily. You put this gear in, you put this washer in first actually, and the little chamfered side on this, chamfered side, whatever you call it, that goes like that, and that slides into the bearing. The deal is, laying on its side, like face down, you can put this in, you can put this in, then you can wiggle this into this shift fork, right? But when the case is in the truck and sitting like how it is right now, it's a bugger, right? You got to get that in, you got to get it on top of that, slid over that, and up like that, with that massive gear sitting inside of it. So it's hard to do. But what you do, what I did anyway, I'm no expert at this, no mechanic, but this worked. You dump this gear inside first, and where that little oiling hole is in there, you shove that screwdriver through, and it catches this gear and it holds it up in place. And this gear, once you get it into that shift fork, just goes like that and it holds it in place. Then you grab that and shove it through. All right? And that's how I had to do it. I tried it half a dozen times the other way, and oh, it's close. Oh, I got the shaft in there, but then that ring, this thing, would fall off the shift fork, and you're done. You got to start over. So that's what I did with that one. That's how those go back together. They're not rocket science. They're like caveman style, super easy. But you got to keep that. I don't know if it's like a synchro ring or something, whatever you call it. I don't know. But that has to stay in that shift fork while you're putting this output in. And then once you're done that, easy peasy, you just take this cover Goes over, bolts back on. Bob's your uncle. Done like dinner. Okay? Okay, so transfer case is all back together. And I'm just taking the bolts out of the dry shaft here so I can get this yoke off and get the 1.1/8" nut off the back to pop this piece of shaft out. But I ran into another issue. It looks like the cardan in this, where the ball hook's on, something broke. So either something in the dry shaft broke and then that broke the shaft, or vice versa. The shaft broke and then it broke the dry shaft. But something's messed up there. It doesn't look 100%. Once I get this off, I'll be able to look at it a little better and figure it out. But yeah, something's definitely messed up. So now everything's all back together. I got the yoke put in there, tightened up. The dry shaft, there is something messed up with that, the ball joint part of the cardan. I'll tear that apart another day. It's starting to get later on and it's gonna be dark soon. I'm not gonna mess with it any farther. I'm just getting this thing so that it'll roll down the road without puking fluid out the front. Yeah, that was the main goal for right now. Obviously I didn't know that the dry shaft was messed up, but probably just give Tom Wood's dry shaft a call and probably have to order that top piece where the end U-joint fits in and that has the ball that connects to it. I don't know what that costs, but I guess I'll find out. So yeah, I just put the fluid in it. I got a liter in it so far. Here's the second one. The third one should make it start to run out and then it'll be full. So I'll be able to move it around and drive it without any issues. I just won't have 4-wheel drive. And I can work on the other stuff that has to be done until the parts show up. So, out for a little test drive just in the sand pit next door. Few things bumping around, loose stuff. I'm not sure what that is, so I'll have to probably look into that. But as long as I get out and it's not pouring fluid out of some hole or something, I think we're good.